Hey guys, it is I, the Wild West Gamer, here doing a video game demo impression. Yeah, I guess that's what it would be. It's more of it's technically a trial, but I'll give you the impression of what I thought anyway. So, it's been out now for a couple days, maybe a week, well, a bit longer than that. But Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is out on the PlayStation Network, Xbox 360 market, Steam, I guess, whatever, it's out there. And last night I finally finished downloading the trial. It didn't take a long time. It was just that I kept forgetting that my console needs to be on to download stuff. So it's taken a while. Also, this game is one of those games where people are either going to play it or they're not going to play it. They're going to make an assumption entirely based on what they see firsthand, and that'll be that. But I'm here to tell you, you should get this game. You should play this game. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is despite the fact it's called Far Cry 3, it has nothing to do with it. This is a big thing that a lot of people are picking up on. It's not hard to see why. It's just something that people have to make clear. The story behind it is that during the development of Far Cry 3, one of the developers went home, I'm assuming did that, fuckload of drugs, and then started taking Far Cry 3 apart and then re-adding all of the stuff they loved the most from all of the 80s action films and just the whole sort of tone of the 80s. And I guess his bosses saw it somehow and thought, yeah, this is great. Let's carry on doing this as well and stick it out as a standalone piece of DLC. So you get in the form of Blood Dragon, a game based off the mechanics of Far Cry 3, but with this entire sci-fi 80s overtone to it, aesthetic, I should say. So yeah, I downloaded the trial, I played it, and it's just the most insane thing you've ever played in before. I mean, it's fantastic. If all games were like this, it would definitely be annoying. But because this is both satire as well as an actual genuine game at the same time. It both takes the mick out of the 80s as well as pays it love. It's completely perfect for as a breath of fresh air for games at the moment. You play as Super Soldier Rex Power Cult or something like that. I can't remember his name. It's the most fantastically cliched 80s name ever. Voiced by Michael Biehn. It even looks like Michael Biehn, and it's basically set on the Far Cry island, but it's been given been remade to look like the 80s idea of post-apocalyptic sort of evil henchman super base or something like that. There are these massive spotlights going up into the sky, putting the enemy's logo up on the clouds. Everything's neon and sort of this sort of electronic cyberpunk sort of look to it. There are these crazy ass dragons running around the place, shooting lasers from their eyes, just all kinds of crap. It is just unreal what they've decided to put out. And yeah, you as this cyber commando, you have to infiltrate this base and take it down. Not just the base, the island, and take down its leader. This former commander of the super soldiers or whatever it is. You know what, to be fair with you, even if you pay attention to the story, there's just so much going on. It is unbelievable. You just can't. But it's so fantastic. And I had an absolute blast playing it. It's just ridiculous. It really is. This is what I mean, though. People are going to look at it and go, that just looks awful. We're so used now to seeing these sort of, this realistic, military shooter-esque sort of style now in all first-person shooters. So when we see something that's both a throwback, and an innovation, really, people sort of recoil in horror. And I really like the fact that this game looked back to be new. And little things, really great things, like the way all the logos at the beginning are sort of like this VHS style, sort of sort of less than perfect clarity coming up. You have a little tracking bar. Just all the music, just everything, it's just fantastic. It really is. All of the video cutscenes are in a sort of a semi-animated form. it's great, fantastic. And there's this lovely bit at the beginning where it takes the piss completely out of tutorials and like pop-up messages, just everything about it. It really is one of those games where I can't tell you enough how much fun it is until you play it. It's fantastic, because I was made aware of it. Well, I heard stuff about it. I just like, all right, it's just DLC. Then a friend came around, Mr. Chris. He came around and he said to me, he said, "Have you seen Blood Dragon?" You know, he knew I had Far Cry 3. He said, "Have you seen Blood Dragon?" I said, "I've heard bits about it. I'm not sure." And he's like, "Check it out." I checked it out, and I was just like, "The fuck have I just seen?" You know, they've, you know, it's almost Universal Soldier crossed with Terminator, sort of like that. A bit of G.I. Joe in there and everything. Like I say, best stuff from the 80s. Yeah, I mean, what's nice is because for anyone who loved the gameplay mechanics for Far Cry 3 is going to love this, because it's still that fluid and brutal combat that was made Far Cry 3 really fun. You know, all the weapons feel good. There's a really nice melee attack. You know, you can still chain links together. You still throw, you know, you stab an enemy and throw his knife at someone. Only this time it's a shuriken, glowing ninja star. And your katana is now like this mini glowing purple katana that you use. You still gather loot from people, and you call it pilfering in this, and you actually take out their cyber hearts, and stuff like that. Really cool thing. So it's almost basically Far Cry 3, but like I said, with this massive refacing to it, which is really nice, because you know, if you're a fan of Far Cry 3, you know immediately what you can do, what you need to do. Yeah, and it's literally just, you know, it's just exploring. It's visual. It's exploring the, you know, brand new visual look of it, the visual style, and all of the new little things they've put into it, like blood dragons, all the new enemy types, stuff like that. Really, really good fun. And it's, yeah, like I say, I'm worried it's going to be a bit of like sort of a Marmite game, that people are either going to love it or hate it. And I think the people who are hating it are just basing it on the way it looks. I'm going to be honest now, if I hadn't played Far Cry 3, I would be very skeptical about this game, just because I don't like, as much as I like the 80s, you know, I'm a really big fan of games from then. I think when games try to be like games from the 80s, especially when they're blatantly not, you know, the whole way it's, you know, a 3D first-person shooter, very much sort of, you know, the antithesis to a lot of what was coming out in the 80s. You know, I would have been like, this mash of different cultures would have been a bit like, oh, you know. But like I say, you've got to try it. Give it 10 minutes, and if it doesn't suck you in, fine, fair play, you know. But like I say, it's just fantastic, and I really like the fact that the guys at Ubisoft didn't feel like they had to. It's like they were protecting Far Cry. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't sat there going, "Oh, we can't do this to Far Cry 3. This is our baby. This is, you know, going to be one of the best games out there, you know, this year. We can't dare make, you know, tear that apart and, you know, make it ridiculous." No, they did. They did that. You know, and I really credit them with that. I mean, if you went to, say, Infinity Ward or Activision and said, "Hey, take Call of Duty and do some crazy shit with it," they'd be like, fuck you. You know, they wouldn't want to do it. They'd just be like, "No, we're not doing that. We're not going to ruin our, you know, we're not going to risk our franchise just so that you guys can have like sort of a, you know, a couple cheap laughs at, you know, 80s nostalgia," or whatever it was, whatever they would do with it. Yeah, like I say, Ubisoft have just said, "No, you know what? We love the 80s. You guys probably love the 80s, even if some of you weren't born then. You know, everyone knows of the 80s. You know, the 80s style, the greatest stuff. You know, but everyone says the 80s was the greatest time to live. You know, just stuff like that." They've taken that and they've said, "No, let's give it to people. Let's give them something to, you know, really laugh at and just have some fun with." And that's this game. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Certainly doesn't take itself too seriously. And yeah, like I say, it is just a wild experience. Is all I can say. I just cannot describe it. You know, it's like Geometry Wars, but if someone made that into a first-person shooter, it's just colours everywhere. Everything you do, lasers, colours, everything. You know, it's like having a firefighter, like a rave. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, there we have it, guys. That was my impressions of Far Cry 3. simply can't put it into words. I really can't. It's bizarre doing an impressions video on something I just can't describe how good it is. But like I say, that should give you an idea of really how good it is. Like I say, just if you don't want to buy it, don't rush out and buy it. Try the trial, and see what you think. And I guarantee you'll find something interesting in there. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Short video, just because it was an impressions one. A bit more stuff coming out today, perhaps. And yeah, thank you very much. Oh yeah. One quick thing, new videos coming out, different kind of style to it, just me sort of sitting, chatting around, doing stuff like that. Leave comments, guys, tell me what you're thinking. Are you liking the way that's going? Are you liking the way that the channel perhaps maybe moving towards, just sort of all of this stuff being assimilated into just ordinary everyday stuff? Or would you like to see it, perhaps very separate from that? So let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. And please subscribe. Please leave your comments. Please leave your advice, any suggestions, stuff you'd like to hear me talk about in the future. And thanks very much for watching, guys. See you later. Bye bye.